My Gavan and Melodine, and well met indeed. I'm Adrian Galadurthan, and welcome back to Middle-earth as we continue on as Khazad-dûm. Now, I must first apologise that there was not a live stream on Saturday, because I have felt absolutely dreadful this weekend, and even today, which is Sunday, I didn't want to miss the recording. I'm feeling up to recording, but you may be able to hear in my slower speech and possibly in the voice that I'm still not feeling well. It's like we've suddenly stopped wearing masks, generally speaking, around the UK, and every single variation of the common cold is then just running rampant through the populace. And it's absolutely ridiculous. But Saturday morning, I spent almost the entire morning in bed. It was not particularly fun. And today I'm feeling okay enough to battle on. So we will. Right, we need to deal with the threat and rise of Angmar. Oh, just on the live stream point, the Ardenaim will get their last gasp this weekend instead. So there won't be a Khazad-dûm live stream this weekend. It will be the Ardenaim one, which I think is fitting. And then that also then lends it to being directly before the start of the Reunited Kingdom, which is all right, I suppose. But anyway, we need to defend against Angmar. Now, something that many of you commented on is that Angmar borders us here as well. So this could well be the end of us, actually, because Mount Gundabad's just going to have to fend for itself, basically. We can't send troops up there very easily. Fenris-Druinen is protecting our core mountain regions, but Tirthuin and Keloniak are definitely about to go. I cannot imagine in a million years that we're going to be able to hold these. Look at the armies that are standing outside, and Angmar owns the Weather Hills. Now, we haven't got any problems in the north, as I say, so it's all in this western side. Whilst we're fighting Dol Guldur, we then get this bloody problem rearing its head. So, Captain Frerin, who is going east, we're going to have to send everyone that's not Captain Frerin west. So we might lose Tirthuin and Keloniak, but hopefully we'll get them back in due course. It now becomes rather fitting. Oh dear, you're the wrong person. I mean, I need the town. We now need to just train wherever we can, really. Throw bodies at it, which we don't really have the money to do. So it's going to be an interesting few turns, I think. But does Angmar hate us more than they hate the Northern Dunedain? That is our question. Because if they are more bothered by the Northern Dunedain, then they'll continue to pursue them into the ground. Grind them down. But if they are more bothered about us, then we have problems on the horizon. Right, Framsburg, Bruin. Come north, my friend. I'll take those. No, leave the spearmen. Yellowstone is our only recruitment station at the moment, really. Oh, no, Berserkle will be able to soon. Oh, look, just as it's upgrading to an army barracks. Oh, nicely done. Well played. Our primary army up here in the north is defending Witherboard, whilst Dol Guldur moves back in on Rakiberg, which is brilliant. But there's two generals there, so whatever he has, Nazkuga, yeah, no, they're not going to survive. They're not going to win that. And we've got a general up there as well. So one of these generals will probably move to Framsburg after that fight is over. But we've just got to deal with Wisteen. We've got a reasonable... I mean, we need the reinforcements. We're attacking Roscovel and we're attacking Dor Norhak in the south. And my plan is to give Dor Norhak to Rohan, who I think I allied with. Did I not? No, not yet. But we're going to. Where's a diplomat? He's up in the Woodland Realm doing nothing. And you're in the field. Yeah, there he is. He's heading down to Rohan to talk to them now. And we got that fellow blocking Dol Guldur from coming into our heartlands. It's unfortunately with Angmar joining the fray, this campaign has just gone from a sure win, a nice little gentle roll down a hill, into a mountain climb. And it's going to prove difficult. There's no two ways about it. Oh dear. You may recall that a few weeks ago I was also unwell. That's why I mentioned about that's why I said at the beginning about all the different types of common cold, because a week and a half ago I had a proper cold. So my nose was clogged up. I was having to blow my nose all the time, and I just felt really just generally deprived of energy and low, and I would frequently sweat throughout the day. But this time, it's manifested really just as a cough and a headache. So, an entirely different kettle of fish, as they say here in the UK. And it's just bizarre, isn't it? I would have assumed that if you get a cold, but then that's because there's various different types of common cold. That's exactly why we can't cure it, isn't it? Because it just changes constantly. But it's just so annoying. I've had a single day of not being unwell in the past maybe 10 days. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, do we want to defend at the gate? We've only got 2 units coming through. We might as well. No, we want to make full use of our archers, actually, don't we? And there's no towers to speak of anyway. So if we pull back to the square... Oh, and we get garrison forces to kill for free. Oh, fantastic. The question will be, which way are they going to come once they get through the door? I'm going to gamble that they're going to go that way. That would be the way that I would go. Right, the one that's the actual general, stay in the square. The other one, I want you to come over here and act as a flanking force. And put those just in front of you so that the AI can't push them. There we are. Alright, let's do it. Dun 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 dun. And Reunited Kingdom Developer Diary, by the way, will probably have to start at the same time as the Reunited Kingdom campaign. I'll check in with Finn again, but I said to Finn when I wanted to start the Reunited Kingdom campaign, he said, "Yep, brilliant, I'll do some last little bits and bobs that I need to do for it before then." And obviously I will wait till they're done before I do the developer diary about it. So it may well be that the developer diary comes at the first week that the arcade comes in. And I trust you won't mind that, because of course I'm doing that deliberately so that I can show you all the features of the arcade. Well, all the features that are currently in the mod anyway. Whereas if I did the developer diary now, in a week's time things are going to be added that would change the diary, so it just doesn't seem worth it doing it now. So that will be, well, next week. My hope is to have that at some point next week, maybe Sunday of next week. Sunday's a day that at the moment doesn't tend to have a recording, isn't it? So I'll probably plug for Sunday. Alright, in you go. Uruk Slayers are surrounded. I quite like the look of Uruk Slayers. They suffer from the same problem that most Orc armies do, in that their colour scheme is dull. It's grey and brown. But there's something about Uruk Slayers that makes them just sort of stand out, despite the grey and brown. It's probably the human-sized axe head that they wield, which is massively impractical. But they do stay in my mind. Oh, also, if you take a quick look at them, their belt is massively out of proportion to where one would wear a belt, and it looks like they are wearing a belt like they're quite. Yeah, it's oh dear. The belt is underneath their backside. They've clearly been to American prisons, because that's the visual style that American prisoners go for, isn't it? Because nothing says, "I am a hardened criminal, do not mess with me," like a man who actively hinders his movement by wearing his trousers around his knees. Ready for anything, those prisoners are. I don't really mind about abusing prisoner style. I don't think they're going to cross the sea and come for me. As far as I'm aware, people in English prisons don't wear their trousers lower than their backside, but I've never been to prison, and we don't really have a prison culture here because it's not a huge feature of our society. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Maybe it's just because I've never been in and around prison circles. I can't laugh, because when I laugh it makes me cough. I have 2 drinks here next to me. I'm planning on just drinking almost non-stop throughout this whole thing. Right, you flank around over here. Now, I should say, obviously, I've always followed a system with YouTube where if I don't feel like my energy level will be high enough, I don't want to record. I don't want to do a recording where I'm just grinning and bearing my way through it. But with this secondary cold, this one that I have now with the coughing, and I think my nose is starting to plug up. But at the moment, I don't feel like generally low in myself. I don't feel as devoid of energy. Now, I am lower in energy than I normally would be, but I don't feel like I couldn't be entertaining in a YouTube video for you. Whereas with the on Saturday morning, I could not bear the thought of doing a live stream and having to. But part of that as well was that on Saturday the headache was at its absolute worst, and I think that's a big factor, isn't it? It's difficult to pay attention to things when you're, with every second your head is throbbing. But today the headache seems to have dissipated, so I'm in a better position there. But anywho, it is what it is. But the moral of this little unrelated spiel is that I don't mind recording today, even though I feel a little under the weather, because I don't feel hugely under the weather. But still enough that I'll be taking a nice long break after this. Play some more of the campaigns of Age of Empires 2, I think. That's what I did yesterday. I just sat, relaxing. I took some painkillers after I'd slept for most of the morning. And then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, had some things to drink, went and slept on the sofa as well. And then when I started to feel a little bit better, like much later into the evening, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then I played the Bayanaun campaign in Age of Empires 2. What a good day. Well, I mean, it wasn't a good day, because I absolutely hate wasted time. Always have hated wasted time. Why are we not killing these people quicker? I almost break my day down into minutes. I am the kind of person where if someone is late by 2 or 3 minutes, that person has lost some of my good grace. And I do genuinely think oh, that'll save me. That'll give me 5 more minutes of this or 5 more minutes of that.
This is a clear victory.
Oh, absolutely smashing victory. Some people obviously don't think like that. Their days are probably measured in chunks, like in the afternoon or the morning. Right? Will that affect it? Not in any way. Whereas I genuinely do measure my day out in minutes. So if I can spare a few here, there, or anywhere, and contrary to that, if I waste a few here, there, and anywhere, it really bothers me. So sleeping for the entire morning is a huge, huge waste of my day. Oh, Dogaldor, you want to fight for Dor Norhak? Be my guest. My armies will lay waste to you, and we shall litter your corpses about the roadside. It'll become as the Appian way, but in Middle-earth. I was going to say Appian then, but I assume it's probably Appian. Who knows? Are any of you Romans? If you could just jump forward 2,000 years and let me know how you pronounce Appian way, I'd be really grateful. Right. Nothing really of note. There's a few stalkers, which are always a pain in the neck, and the headhunters leading. Well, no, the wargs are leading, actually. They always tend to favour mounted units as leaders when they don't have a general. Shadow Rangers, Shadow Guard, and we've got a general. But I think our army should be able to handle this, to be honest. Employ Dwarven Defensive Tactic number 1. Camp in the corner and throw big rocks at them. That is an artist depiction, by the way, of Dol Amroth, because the only actual description we really get of Dol Amroth is one line where Tolkien describes it as a castle by the sea. And obviously a castle, in the truest sense of the word, or in most people's thought of the word, implies the actual physical defensive structure and nothing more. So lots of people take the view that Dol Amroth is actually just that. It is a minor castle where Imrahil and the princes rule over the fief of Dol Amroth and the region of Belfalas, but the actual location of Dol Amroth is, many people believe, to be very, very small and not a large rival to Minas Tirith or something like that. But then when you think that Minas Tirith is called the Tower of Guard, but actually it's a fully fledged city where the largest proportion of people in Gondor live, outside of Lebenin and Lasardak, I believe. I'm going to camp on this hill here, I think. Then you kind of can see why we can take artistic liberty and actually have people live in this otherwise unknown castle. Or otherwise devoid of life castle. Oh, look at that. Can they walk up there? No, look, that bit there is all blocked to them. Ah, perfect. Right, we're being attacked by the ones that are the baddies, and the reinforcements will be coming in from the corner over there. So they'll all be in front of us if we fight here. The question will become, can we maximize the advantage of this hill by fighting with the other troops sort of over there? Yeah, I think we should be alright. Okay, defensive line. Spear, spear, pike. Spear, spear, pike. Come and stand over here for me. We have 1 archer, so you can go behind. And we got 9. Breeland lives on through the merchant cavalry in Khazad-dûm. I really like the design of the merchant cavalry. Again, this is just the quintessential designs that I like. Simplistic, but really well done. Very, very polished. The textures don't look blurry. They look crisp. Well, as crisp as they can in this engine. It's obvious what it is. It's a gentleman wearing a breastplate and nothing more. Then he's got the pauldrons and the arms or whatever they're called. And but it just looks good. It's simple but really high quality, and that is what wins me over. And I think that's probably partly why I like Bree so much, because almost all of Bree's units, in fact all of Bree's units, have that design philosophy. They are simplistic in their design, but very, very polished in the finish. And that's primarily because most of them are from the base game, and the Third Age team just had some absolutely fantastic visuals. Absolutely fantastic visuals. Right, now what we're going to want to do is just send some units over here, because there is a very real risk that they will come up this way instead. So we will need to have some units over here. So you fellows jump over there, and then you three that I've moved, come and stand next to the archers. Alright, they did attack us, so we can sit and wait. So tell me, how's your day going so far?
My lord, the tide of battle seems to have turned against us.
My lord!
Must act and halt this turn of events.
We must act and halt this turn of events. Damn right, narrator man. Absolutely spot on. Oh, here's a question for you. This is the wrong video, really, because I should ask it in a Warhammer one, really. But is it pronounced Slanesh or Slanish? My gut instinct is that it's Slanesh, because there's two A's and one E. But in light of the fact that they showed the Nurgle and Slanesh trailer the other day, it did make me wonder, how do people pronounce it? The mortar shots can begin firing. And the enemy is mostly going to the right-hand side, which is nice. Well, that was a very low tilted mortar shot, wasn't it? Can any of you do shield wall? Because those wargs will charge into you. Fire at will, Commander. Oh, the carnage. Oh, a lovely shot. Absolutely wonderful strike there. Oh, and a second follow-up in the same place. Didn't seem to kill anyone, though. It's interesting. First one went very well. Second one, awful. Alright, as expected, they have divided their attentions. I don't think you do need to bother being in shield wall, because they're not getting a charge bonus anyway. And also, as expected, we are able to protect the siege while we fire over that hill. Right, go in there and support those wargs. Stop the pikes getting battered and bruised. You hold that right flank, sirs. No, they can't get up the middle. Bugger. No. No. Pull back. You must defend the siege at all costs. What are we on? 10% of them have died, but
the enemy general lies dead. We have sent the car to hell.
To hell. Right, you come and help over here as well. Alright, we should then see some reasonable success shortly. There we go. Those wargs have decided to rout and flee, so we'll get you. Right, you come and help down that middle bit again, and you break out, because we really need that siege back in the game. You know what to do. Now, the reinforcing army I'm not too bothered by, if I am honest. So you're welcome to fire at whatever you like. Ah, they're both engaged. Right, move in and hit those. You've gone into those Uruks, that's fine. Oh, and our general's up against it a little, isn't he? Right, you go and help the general, then get them to break. Why does it do that? I'm double-clicking, and then it just... Alright, now is the time. Where is the cavalry? Where is the cavalry? Oh, right here. Oh, good. Cavalry, you're needed. Because this front army is dead. This main army is gone. Get out there. No, go, go, go! What are you doing? They'll turn back! No, go and rout. No, you stupid morons! What did you get stuck on? The enemy walked up that hill, no trouble. Why can't you, you idiots? Oh, I hate your lives and everything about you. Oh, that's very irritating. So now we've got to refight them. And because for some bizarre reason, when units come back after having broken, they always come back with way more morale than they have any right to have. And it always annoys me. It always pisses me off, is what it does. Yeah, that's right. I said it. There you go. Now they're getting involved. Cut them down, you stupid idiots. cut them down better than he did last time. Oh, gods above, it's either absolutely boiling in this room or I'm coming out in random sweats again. It's my head, you see. It just, my forehead sweats like nobody's business. There's a fun fact about Galley you didn't know you were going to learn today. My forehead sweats.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Profusely
They
sometimes.
have lost half their men.
They have lost half their men. Oh, look at this routing down the middle here. Cowards break and flee before us. Get in there. Continue with the Shadow Rangers. Come on. You're not targeting what I'm telling you to. Right, we've got huge routing in the middle there. Now, Ballister crew. Come on, Shadow Rangers. Right, once one unit starts routing them, generally speaking, they don't turn and fight again. Although that one just did, so I've lied to you. I don't really know what's happening now, if I'm honest.
The battle seems to be swinging in our favour.
People are fighting in places.
Victory emerge.
Who are you fighting? And what are you fighting, more to the point? And what's happening over here? Who are you? Let's move you forward. Defensive line, move up. Are you actually shooting your grape shot catapult? And are you targeting what I'm telling you to? No, you're absolutely not. Why are you being so obstructive? Right, in we go. Ah, there we are. The enemy general hasn't died yet, has he? Of course. So his force is fighting. Sorry, we fought this whole battle hovering over the... That must have been... I'm sorry. That's just poor form. Should actually zoom in and have a little look at the action, should we not? Oh, there's Commander Shadow Guard. Where's the general then? Oh, there he is at the back over there. The Shadow Guard against the legions of silver and steel. Khazad-dûm rises. I find it interesting that Mithril, or Mithril, has entered public conscience, if you will, conscience, and almost every fantasy title, any fantasy thing since Tolkien, Mithril is a very common substance in fantasy genres. But despite the fact that in Lord of the Rings, Mithril is the best element in existence, it is this absolute wonder element that can do anything you want it to. It's incredibly expensive, very costly because of all the wonderful things that it can do. And yet, in almost every other fantasy genre or game or whatever where I've seen Mithril, it's always like the middle tier or like the one below the best. You just think, why did you bother taking it if you're not going to have it be the best thing? But then maybe that's because they wanted to make their own best thing, so they've compromised by taking Mithril on board and then putting it as one down. But I find it interesting that so many people have taken Mithril on. It's not that difficult to think like, oh yeah, look, Tolkien has this really strong, super useful substance that looks a little bit like silver. That's really cool. Let's put that in our game. Oh, but let's give it a different name. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's give it a different name. It would take no time at all to think up another name. Absolutely none at all. Like, you don't have to go, like, silly with it, or unobtainium, as they have in Avatar. But I don't think unobtainium is a silly name, to be honest. I think that is a good colloquial name for a substance that's really difficult to get hold of. I'm personally of the school of thought that thinks that actually that's quite a... The people that are actually mining the stuff would call it something like that. They wouldn't call it whatever its scientific name is, would they? And so I thought that was quite clever, actually. Oh, we lost all of our cavalry. Oh, I didn't notice that. I'm not going to try and kill these. I'm going to let them show all their arrows at me, and then I'm going to let them run at me. We are fully out of ammunition with everything else. Although I think, like, because some of them have died, actually, they're probably going to fire for about 5 straight minutes. So we should try and enact... Oh, no, there we go. It's... Ah, good. All right. As soon as we hit them, they'll rout. Did we kill him? Oh, no, he just ran away. The enemy general.
The enemy
483, 2,500 plus.
Of only the mightiest of generals.
286 dwarven catapult. I did get the top spot. Oh, well done. Proving the catapult's use outside of city walls. You don't have to just be choke pointing. to get kills as a catapult. Oh, and something I should mention is, if you are wondering about the big C test, me being sick back to back in a space of 2 weeks, I have routinely been testing, and I am waiting on a test as we speak for COVID that I should get tomorrow, the day you're watching this, actually Monday. So you might get a video on Tuesday with me saying, hey everyone, you know, I've not been very well of late. Well, I'm now just a statistic in a list. Alas. Oh, Gundabad, why can't you just do what I want you to do? War would be so much easier if your enemy just put down their weapons and let you beat them. You haven't even got a name badge.
The enemy has surrounded us.
Why don't you just lay down? Oh, alrighty then. Oh, we get 2 garrison units. Oh, fantastic news. You've not brought enough, Angmar. You have not brought enough. And here we will beat you. We haven't fought at Gundabad, have we? But Gundabad must not fall. We swore a promise at the start of this campaign when we took this mountain town. We swore Gundabad would not fall. And by that promise we stand. And here today our Dwarven defenders are going to prove that Gundabad will not fall. Do we hold them at the gate, or do... Yes, because we haven't got any siege, so there's no point holding elsewhere. And our archers are on the walls. Yeah, that'll give them at least some shooting. You can throw it. The only problem with Gundabad is the absolute... Although these walls probably do have textures when it's not winter. But Gundabad is a permanent winter, isn't it? But the top of those walls looks a bit... leaves a little to be desired. Alright, so they've got catapults, which is not going to help them in any way. And we've got Dwarven defenders. So we cry out with the football hooligan's most favoured chant. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. You have to say it in an accent. You can't say it in your own voice. Alright, where's our enemy out there on the field? So, as we thought, Ballister Crew, I don't know what they're going to do. Try and break down the gate. Waste all their shots, I suppose. Warg archers, and then there's the fantastic looking Angmar general unit. I've always liked that one as well. This one's got a beard. And this one looks a little bit like an ape masquerading as a human. I've said that before, haven't I, when we played as Angmar before? When I look at this fellow, he always makes me think of the Planet of the Apes prosthetics from the older ones. He looks like he's got the ape prosthetic makeup on, and then someone's put a helmet on him. I don't know why, but that's just what I see when I look at him. But anyway, that's the Angmar unit. I like them a lot. Oh, he's doing a little bit of a dance, having a bit of a stretch. They're very good, so they'll give us a bit of grief. Alright, as expected, the Ballister Crew is going to move in and try and break down the gate. And we have to sit and wait for that, I'm afraid. Here we go. They won't be able to, so... Oh no, they're going for the towers. Oh, jammy buggers. Not doing very well. Perhaps then... Towers only fall easily to Ballister Crews if you set your shots aflame. And they've not done so. Gundabad, of course, is one of the... We can talk about this while the Ballister Crews waste their time. Gundabad is one of the black spots in Tolkien's works, in my mind. This is such a revered place for the dwarves. Durin woke here. Obviously, he didn't found any settlements here. He only woke up and then buggered off immediately. But still, this is the birthplace of the founder of one of the 7 clans of the Longbeards. And it is mostly ignored throughout much of the histories completely. It becomes very much a secondary, minor place. And I've always thought that's a bit peculiar. It's only really mentioned again in the War of the Dwarves and the Orcs, when the Dwarves cleanse the mountains of all Orc presence, including Gundabad, but then they immediately abandon it again. And it is into that loophole that we then have our Gundabad faction take shape, with the Snow Orcs coming down from the north and occupying the city in the light of the abandonment by the Dwarves. But I've just always found it odd that the Dwarves don't seem to care about it. This is very much... I mean, the Dwarves don't really... No one in Middle-earth really has a religion. It's something that Tolkien actually does avoid. So obviously there are parallels, with Melkor being Satan and Eru being God, as you all know. Everyone will talk your ear off about them till the cows come home. And the Valar are like angels, and then there's lesser angels, which are the Maiar. So you've got the parallels with Christianity, but no one in Middle-earth actually worships any of these people. And that's what I think is very interesting. So even in a realm where your gods are known to you, and not only known to you, but they walk the earth, you as an elf have been escorted around the world by your, well, they're not really gods though, are they? But you know what I mean. Eru himself directly intervenes in the tale a couple of times, and yet no one really worships him. The only worship you ever get is evil worship. The only real documented worship, to my mind, off the top of my head, granted, and if you have updates on that, please do put them in the comments down below, because I'd love to read them. This, as I say, is just off the top of my head. But the only documented worship is when Sauron gets the Númenóreans to worship Melkor and sacrifice their own people to that worship. But that is used as a tool to show how depraved the Númenóreans became. It's not necessarily a commentary on religion. I mean, none of Lord of the Rings is a commentary on anything, but having the religious aspect there... Oh, they're going to go for the archers, you bastards. Having the religious aspect there isn't to have a religion in Middle-earth. It is just to show that the Númenóreans have really fallen from glory, that they are now sacrificing their own people to Melkor, who in only 3,000 years earlier, or 2,500 years earlier, they were actively fighting against him, and now they're killing their own people in support of him. Holy hellfire! Those Warg Raiders have absolutely slaughtered our defenders. What on earth has happened there?
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and
steadfast,
victory will
because at the moment, from where I'm standing, it looks like the battle is not in our favour.
Only half the enemy force remains. Our foolish general has thrown his life away. We have lost half our men.
Alright, we've killed everything except the general's unit, and the general's unit's not going to die easily. That's the problem. Oh yeah, look, there you go. You can get them to shoot at their enemies. You know what to do! You know what to do! You know what to do! Yeah, I get it. I get it. I understand what it is that I have to do. Alright, on the walls, boys. Let's finish these buggers off. Through that gate. They stand. They don't think anything is wrong. And in a moment, 40, 50-ish of the Dwarven nation's finest warriors will come thundering through. There they are. 2 of them fall in the initial charge. Oh no, only 1 did, actually. The other 2 are pushed to the sides. They only caught 1 in the back. Look at those units. They look so good. There's just something about Roman-inspired visuals that just we all seem to love. Rome is really held up on this sort of pedestal, isn't it? But I think that's because it's the first truly proper, if you will, quote-unquote nation. And because their history spans such a long time. But generally, humanity as a whole is just really intrigued with Rome. Oh, Histine died ages ago. Oh, right. Okay, everyone, out we go. There they are. The only thing left is the crappy little catapult crew. Oh, you haven't got a shot left, surely? You wasted it all on the towers. No, I don't think they have. Also, why aren't we doing what I told you to do? Ah, did you get stuck because the enemy general hadn't left? Alright, we've got reinforcements coming, and we will then build the next tier of the garrison building, so we'll get the upgraded version of the defenders, because goodness gracious did those defenders fall easily. Oh. Oh, at least have the good decency to break. Oh, you bastards. Sorry, pardon my French. And now we have to sit and watch as they bugger off. Oh, why didn't you run away and... Oh, you... Talk about wasting time. As the Ballister crew disappears into the fog on the horizon, we are left wondering why. Why didn't they run away when everyone else did? Why must we sit and endure? Oh, and then even better. They've decided running away is not for them and they're coming back. You morons. Dun 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 dun. Oh, who knows what
Look
they're doing
how
now.
our cowardly foe runs.
Capture as many as you can, just to be able to hang their heads.
This is a clear
Oh,
victory.
we lost a lot. Oh, no, but almost all of it will be these two. Yeah, look at that. Over 200 of our 220. Dwarven Travellers lost 71, though. Oh, dear, that's a lot. We must prepare Gundabad for more onslaughts. What has come here has been just a testing force. A scout. The vanguard of Angmar's main armies. We must, however, pray in the south that Angmar takes up more concern with the goings-on of the northern Dunedain than they concern themselves with us. The Dunedain are strong. They have entrenched themselves in a very defensible position between two rivers, and it is in that spot that they will hold for time to come. Those two rivers are called the Horwell and the Bruinen, also called the Loudwater. Ah, Browen, you're getting a wife. Jolly good, sir. And Asnar got an Axsmith Guild just as it gets besieged.
Aye, sire.
Alrighty. Angmar have not moved on Tir Thuin. Very well.
Aye, my king.
Aye, my king.
Aye.
Oh, you're very
Joining our
bold.
forces.
Goodness gracious. You look like you've got a head made of stone. Have you polished your head?
Oh.
That is ridiculous. Khazad-dûm, I got a catapult maker. Add that to the list. Another name in the book. Oh, Rakiberg, they stopped the siege. Right, Drohar, get to Framsburg. Yes, good. Browen.
Aye, lord.
Send the units to Mount
Move out.
Gundabad.
Aye, my liege.
Browen.
Marching now. Aye, noble son.
I'd like you to build me a tower as close to the border as you can get it.
Aye,
Just give us
noble
more
son.
sight in that northern
Setting
area.
a vigilant watch here.
Repair the wall.
Alas, I can't
And then
go
build
there.
that next.
But my lord.
Oh, get some more hammers. Yes, get them in. Get them in. Get them in. Birds are cool. Nothing. Alrighty. So, Dane's Halls. When are these buggers going to attack?
Stick you.
Because we could do with you earning me money again. Oh, well, we make enough money. That's not a problem.
My
Do we
king.
just abandon Anazanar to its fate? Yes, because look at the bloody armies that are coming back for us.
I'm gonna stick you.
I don't think we will be able to beat them.
Aye, my liege.
And with Angmar coming, I think we may just have to accept that this eastern expedition has gone as far as it can go. Or we could let them have a Nazanar, and if we try and hold it with a board. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's just get rid of what we can here to stop it being useful to them. Burn it all. Bring it all down. I'd love to be able to defend a Nazanar instead, but alas. Oh, look, that's only a turn till it gets a garrison. Yes, perfect. Alright. Yeah, we'll hold them in Witherboard. Balin! Do not break. Oh, that's pretty handy, actually. That we're going to get that garrison up. It's just a shame that we can't upgrade the bloody walls. What a dwarven town. Even if I cheated and put population there, we're still a good 5 turns away from getting it built. We don't even have the money at the moment. Right, and then in the south, what's happening down here? Right, our fellow over here.
Aye, my lord.
Let's cheat move you. Because you're a diplomat, and I always cheat move diplomats. What is your name, sir? Ori. 265. 295. Ah. My throat is going to be on fire because of this 30 minutes of non-stop talking. Alright. Oh no, I've spoken to you way too soon. I'll have to character reset you. I would like to destroy things for my own purposes first. Get a little bit more money from it. In fact, I'd like to destroy pretty much everything because it's not going to be of any use to you. Like, Rohan doesn't need a guard barracks. Well, actually, the Wild Breeders, the thing that I've just destroyed, they need that, don't they? It has no Rohirrim culture. Well, it's got a little bit of Northmen there, actually, as you saw.
Aye, an honor, my lord. Aye. Aye, noble.
Alright, there we are. That's as good as we want it. Look at Rockbird, they've really built that up. We'll zoom in on it in a second to see that properly. Oh, you have to type his name properly, don't you? Of course. Let's have a look. Yes, Northman towns, looking very nice.
You have
Alliance, map information, military access, and I will give you Dor Norhak because I'm such a nice guy. You're bankrupt though, so I won't demand any money. Yes, welcome to the fray.
How could we refuse such an honor and a
You're damn right. Very
Farewell.
generous offer. Now defend Dor Norhak with everything you've got, because I do not want to have to be coming back here and picking it up again. Although, with the Dogaldor having an army right outside, I probably should have attacked that
My
first.
king.
That was a bit foolish. Gimli's holding down Dogaldor. Oh, you can get a pipe hall. Oh, that's where our free upkeep comes from, isn't it? Of course. Of which we have no concern. But yeah, chuck those in then. What were you building before now? Ah, the garrison, of course. Horses for courses. Right, yep, get those up. That's nice to see. Roskabel will hold no problem. Captain Frerin, I could really do with you getting out and about, but I don't want to risk... Anon Enarod has a random general. It makes 3,600... Sorry, what? Anon Enarod makes more money than the Silvertine. And look at Khazad-dûm, 11,000. If anyone sieges Khazad-dûm, our bank balance is going to tank hard. Have we got a general over here who's somewhere that we shouldn't have a general? Isn't there one in Austin Athea, actually?
Aye, noble sire.
Ah, that only drops it by a little bit. Yeah, we'll take you. And I tell you what,
Aye.
take all those
Forward.
troops.
Aye.
Gruin, go to Frerin and take command of that. Tirthuin, what can I do for you? I could chuck in a garrison building. And we might as well train as many troops on the front line as we can. Koloniak, do the same thing. Train everything you've got. Just give me everything. Fire everything! Alright, so that's going to call it a day there. So I've enjoyed that, actually. But I am now going to have to sit in silence for a while just to let my throat stop hacking me up. But I apologise about there being no live stream. It really weighed on my soul. The live streams need to be regular in order to really get any kind of traction. And I just was so disappointed. But I just could not. I just couldn't do it. But anyway, for now, that's going to conclude this one. So there'll be another Khazad-dûm episode this week, obviously. There'll be a Battle of Middle-earth one. Hopefully, I need to actually record that now. I've used up all of my pre-recorded ones. And something that I will do this week for Warhammer is I will do narration for the victor in the Warhammer 2 tournament. Snakearon has won the tournament, so spoiler alert, you know who's going to win. But and he becomes the first champion of the order. And when our Steam friend passes in 3 days' time, I can send him his £30 gift reward, which is 30 of my pounds. But obviously, is pound actually the strongest currency in the world? I don't know, actually. But most of the major countries of people that play with us, their currencies are all less. So it means more for most of you. Unless you're English, unfortunately, then it's just £30. But anyway, congratulations to Snakearon for his victory. But I'll talk about that, obviously, in the video in the coming week. And then we'll live stream the Ardenheim next Saturday. But until then, I hope you are all doing well. And I hope you have a nice day and a nice week thereafter. And until we speak again, Nevair Naden Pedamad Melonin. And farewell.